Happy Tuesday, webheads. Things are starting to get heated up over here in Central Florida, and I'm not talking because of the sun. I'm talking about these red hot comic books that are getting ready to come out next week. Hey, all my webheads out there, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0, and fans, I am your host, Mike Spider Slayer, always helping you make decisions of what comic books to buy. And today, guys, I am bringing you my top 10 most anticipated comic books for June 16th, 2021. That's right, guys, it's never too early to start that pull list for next week. And hopefully, guys, this helps you make decisions on what comic books to buy. So welcome back, everybody. And before we get started, if you want to give this video a thumbs up, please do so. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that bell. And guys, if you want to enter my Road to 10K X-Men giveaway, guys, just go ahead and comment in the section below, and it will enter you to win these X-Men prizes. Once I hit that 10K milestone, I will do the drawing for them. All right, guys, so let's get started with this week's top 10 most anticipated comics, kicking it off with the hot seat. And like I said, it's a scorcher, but this one goes to the Silver Coin, issue 3. Now, first issue with Silver Coin was actually pretty good, and it was written by Chip Zdarsky. Second issue wasn't so good. It was written by Kelly Thompson, and it was kind of this like Friday the 13th, hack and slash type of issue, and I wasn't a fan of it. Now, it's about this coin that wherever the person that holds this coin, it gives them maybe their desires or their wishes, or it turns them evil. I don't know. It does different things to them. It's an ongoing series, but it's written by different writers. Now, so far, I like the first issue. Second issue, not so much. So the third issue, I think, is going to determine if I continue this series or not. I love horror books, but when it's written by a different writer each and every single issue, it could lack maybe some inconsistencies here. So we'll see what happens with it. I love horror, but when there's so many other books to read, this is very easily can get pushed off to the side. This one is $4. All right, next we're going to move on to the book that's on the rise, and this is probably only going to be on the rise while this is going on. Believe it or not, this is the New Mutants. This is issue 19. This has to do with the Hellfire Gala, so that's why this one is on the rise. I read the Hellfire Gala that took place in in Marauders, and also took place in Hellions and X-Force, and I thought it was actually pretty good. There's no action really in the series right now, but you can see the cracks are starting to form between all of the X characters, and Emma's kind of sneaking in and trying to figure out what's going on, especially when it comes to Beast and like the X-Force team members and Sage. I thought that was quite interesting, and obviously this is going to lead up to the new team, and I think something really big is going to happen here out of this. So if you've been on the fence about the gala and you want to read something that's going on, I think this might be, something worth picking up. So check it out. 28 pages, $4. Again, this might not be as bad as we think it might be, right? All right, so now let's move forward to the top 10. And my number 10 this week goes to a new number 1 from Milestone Universe. This is Static, Season 1, Issue 1. I want to give this book a try. I really never got into Static Shock. I never had an opportunity to read the character and learn about Virgil Hawkins. I only watched maybe a couple episodes of the TV series. So this is a perfect jumping on for readers, myself included, to check out what Static has to offer. This one is 32 pages, and this one is $4. All right, next, moving on to number 9. This is Berserker, issue 3. This one is done by Boom Studios, and we're revealing the history of our main character here. Basically, the first issue was this huge, blood fest, fight fest. It was just balls to the walls, action in your face, just all over the place type of book. It was like, whoa, man. And then it slowed it down in the second issue, and you got to see how he was conceived, and it was a gift from the gods, basically, right? And so now our character, he wants the scientist to give him the ability to die. He doesn't want to die, but he wants the ability to die because he's been alive forever and he's seen so much. So we're going to go into more of a history of our character here. So I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see how this one goes. 32 pages, $4. Next on the list, moving on to number 8. This goes to Stillwater, issue 8. Another Chip Zdarsky book. Last issue was the return of the series after it was on a brief hiatus based off of the story arcs. And we got to see that one of the major characters, or one of the females, wound up getting shot at the end of the book. And it looks like now in this issue, they're going to dispose of a body before it comes back alive or regenerates or whatnot. So they got to take it out of the city. And at the end of the last issue, you wind up getting to see all the children in Stillwater actually have this treehouse village that looks like an Ewok village, and it looks like they're going to come up with a plan to try to stop like the judge and maybe all of his little cronies here. So there's gonna be a lot to unfold when it comes to Stillwater. I'm looking forward to seeing what Chip Zdarsky is writing with this book. I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to keep getting better here. This is also a $4 comic book. All right, next, moving on to number 7. This is Fantastic Four. This is issue 33. Guys, it's The Bride of Doom, Part 2, The Royal Wedding. Dr. Doom has asked Victorious for her hand in marriage, and she said yes after she just got done screwing, yes, Johnny Storm. That made for an interesting ending at the end of that issue, and she's like, well, yes, Lord Doom, I will marry you. So what will happen if Doom finds out that Johnny Storm slept with his future bride? I don't know if that will ever come to be, if we'll ever find out that story, but what is going to happen with Fantastic Four going forward after this book? Obviously, we're celebrating 60 years of the characters, Marvel's first family, and I've been enjoying this series. This is legacy numbering 678, 28 pages, and this is $4. All right, guys, so next on the list, we move on to number 6. This is Infinite Destinies Part 2 or Infinite Fury Part 2. I don't know. What is it? Title says Infinite Destinies. First issue was pretty awesome as we get to see Iron Man trying to help Miles Morales with his whole deal and the whole cloning situation, and he winds up going against a character by the name of Quantum. And this Quantum character actually can travel through space and time, or space, I shouldn't say time, space. And so he has possession of the, the Space Stone. So he's able to travel all over the place. So what's going on in this series is it seems like that the Infinity Stones can actually are choosing their wielders, right? So you don't know who has certain stones. Right now, Captain America is going to be going against Overtime. This is the next character that has the next stone. So we're going to see what this has to offer. I'm really looking forward to this story as it pans out. It has to do with Black Cat as well. So this is continued from Iron Man Annual Issue 1. The story will continue in Black Cat Annual Issue 1. All right, guys, moving on now to number 5. This one goes to Wonder Girl issue 2. Now, issue 1, this was such a beautiful comic. It really captured the reader by its beautiful artwork. And the story has Yara going back to, I think it was Brazil, where she's from, to try to find out what's going on with her parents. She doesn't really know that much about herself or history. And the next thing we wound up seeing as she was being recorded on some kid's YouTube channel is she wound up getting possessed by this harpy lady or whatever it is. I don't even know. But she got mesmerized by this song, and she wound up diving into the water, and this creature wound up capturing her. It was beautiful. It just, even though it just sounds like a little dark, it was just the way it was done. It was just so eye-catching and mesmerizing, and I think that's kind of what the book is going for with its artwork. You know, the story and the art go hand in hand, and it was just awesome, man. I really liked it. And there's things going on in Themyscira where they're all being possessed as well. So I can't wait to see how this story unfolds. I'm really looking forward for this series. 32 pages, $4. All right, next. Coming in at number 4, and I think you guys are going to be surprised at this because this is lower on the list where you thought it might be. This one goes to Venom issue 200, right? The finale of Donny Cates' Venom run is finally here. Why isn't it number 1 though? Well, it's because it's ending. I don't want to see this book end. It's unfortunate that Donny Cates has to leave. Yes, he is taking over Hulk, but Venom is a much better character for me. I love the character so much. And I'm sad to see this book go, or this series go. You know, we're going to get Al Ewing on the book going forward. I'm anxious to see what he does with the character, but I don't think it's going to be as good as Donny Cates. I think Al Ewing's best work ever is going to be Immortal Hulk with the artwork that he had on there. So I don't know if he's going to do as good as Venom. We'll see what happens with it. But this is the finale. This book also is very expensive. It's 92 pages and it's $10. So hopefully the story is a good payoff, a good send-off for the character. And I am looking forward to it, but it's just sad that it's ending. This was a great run, and I wish we would see a longer run like we used to with some other writers. You know, it's like 2 years is a long time for a lot of writers. So, but he told his story, and that's the way it is. All right, next we move on to number 3, and this one goes to Planet Size X-Men issue 1. So again, after we were reading Hellfire Gala, those first 3 parts, right? This makes Planet Size X-Men a little bit more desirable, right? It looks like we might get the team. Supposedly, they're hyping this book off because they're sitting there saying, if you love Giant Size X-Men issue 1, this is the equivalent to that in today's day and age. So they're really hyping this book up. That's a really high bar to set for a book. So I am really curious what Jerry Duggan is going to offer for his readers here, and artist Pepe Larraz. Again, it's another Hellfire Gala tie-in. So if you're reading Hellfire Gala, you'll understand more of what's going on in this book. 44 pages, and this is $5. All right, next, coming in at number 2. And number 2 goes to Radiant Black, issue 5. After the ramifications of issue 4, how can this not be on one of your top most anticipated books for this particular week, right? A lot of you guys ask me to talk about issue 4, and I did after the poll that particular week, and I did not get a chance to read this book. And everyone's like, why don't you talk about Radiant Black? Why don't you talk about Radiant Black? And I'm talking about it now, even though it's way late. But let me tell you, that book just flipped the script. I was like, what the heck is happening here? We got to see the little sidekick who was like his manager, giving him all his advice, right? He winds up becoming the new Radiant Black because the main character winds up getting killed off. And you're like, holy shit, I did not see that coming, because for 4 issues or 3 issues, you're building up that character. And then here comes the sidekick. All of a sudden, he gets the power. And he was asked that question, what would you do with that power? Would you rob banks? It's like, yeah, maybe. It seems like he has no hesitation on being the new Radiant Black. He's going to do whatever it takes to be this character. I mean, he says it. He says, I'm willing to give my life, where the other character never answered that weird alien thing, right? And now he's going to be probably even super pissed off because, honestly, honestly, his friend just got killed. So he literally is probably going to get revenge on anything and anything. And what happened to Radiant Red, right? So we'll see what happens there. Great book, 28 pages, $4. All right, so if Radiant Black was so good, why isn't it number 1? Well, number 1 on my list goes to Nightwing issue 81. The reason why this trumps Radiant Black is because Nightwing, for me anyway, has so many great character moments. It just blows my mind out of the water. It's so good, and I love the artwork in here. We're getting introduced to a new story with a new villain. His name is Heartless, and he rips people's hearts out of their chest, and just all the character interactions when it comes to Barbara and Dick, and when it comes to Tim Drake making his way in this comic as well. It makes you really feel like the Batman family is back together again, and those moments are special. So when you read this book, you're gonna really appreciate what Tom Taylor is doing with all these great character moments. So hopefully you're reading Nightwing. This is definitely not a disappointing book, and I think it's gonna get better. This is titled Leaping into the Light Part 4, 32 pages, and this one is $4. So there you guys have it. There are my top 10 most anticipated comic books for the week of June 16, 2021. Now I want to know in the comments below, what are your most anticipating books? What do you think of Radiant Black, Venom, and all that other stuff that's coming to an end? And guys, until next time, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, don't forget to hit the bell. You like my content? Check it out right here, and enjoy all those comic books, guys. Take care. Bye.